All right, you're with Lee, the 2023 president of LVR, and I'm sitting here with the CEO, and we're going to talk about some really cool things. Her name is Wendy DiVecchio, and we're going to talk about statistical data on the association. I want you to do me a favor. There's two things I want to talk to you about. Number one, I want you to write down, it's the market. And we're going to tell you exactly where you can go to find out what the market's doing. And though both of those places are with this association, it's very easy for you to get there. In fact, one of them you're going to see is going to be this, and you're going to be on our website to get this information. And the other one is going to be from MLS, and you're going to get this, and this is from Applied Analytics. So we have some really cool information. We have some great things to share with you. Last time I did this in December, I told you the sky wasn't falling. And guess what? It's not. We're not in a bad place. What we are is in a change. We're in a change in the marketplace. So let me go over some statistics that I think are important for you to understand. Number one is the days on the market is really an important thing when you're going out to take listings. And the days of the market between 0 and 30 days is now 38.5% of a month. So 38.5% of the homes sell in the first month. Then 30 to 60 is 23.8, 61 to 90 is 16%, and 91 to 120 is 98. And then there's a big bump at 121, and that's 11.8. Now, why is that important for you to know? Taking longer to sell properties. So the next thing I want you to write down is, it's not you, it's the market. What do I mean by that? Market adjustments happen. And when market adjustment happens, it takes longer for properties to sell. So it's really, really important for you to understand those two features as real estate agents and understanding what's going on with our current market condition. So let's go over some statistics that are really interesting for us. And that is that last year, in May of last year, we were at 482,000. And in December, we hit 425,000, which was the same dollar amount as 2021. Now you might say, Leaves, did we go backwards? No, we had an adjustment. We had an adjustment and the prices stabilized and went back to 425. So that was December. Guess what? January, the same number, $425,000 was the median sales price. And let's think about the median sales price. Median sales price is 50-50. It's not average because average takes all the $1 million properties and all those other things into contention. So we don't have that worry. So looking on, we look at, despite the cool off, there was still prices were not as low as 2012, and prices in 2012, you might want to write this down, were 118,000. So if a buyer bought a house in 2012, they had immense equity because we helped them get into properties when they were afraid. Well, guess what? They're afraid now too. So there's two things you have to understand in this market, which is a balanced market. I just did the absorption rate. It's just getting ready to turn 4 months. When you're in a balanced market, you can get concessions and other things that owners are willing to do. So all buyers right now are saying to themselves, man, I wish I could buy, and they should buy now because they can get concessions and prices are down. Their big concern is interest rates. And you sit there and you say, well, what does he mean by interest rates? Well, interest rates are the anomaly that can change. Interest rates can go up and can go down, but when they go down and you got a higher rate, you can refinance. So again, thinking about buying down interest rates, 3-2-1 buy downs, 2-1 buy downs, talk to your lenders about it. Very important for you to do it. So Wendy, what do you think about the market?
I've heard a lot of the agents talking about the market. I've heard a lot of the agents say that they didn't think they were going to be busy, but they're busy. I've heard that, yes, just as you said, that houses are staying on the market a little bit longer, but surprisingly, they are selling. They may go down in price a little bit. In my community where I live in Henderson, I am seeing new tracks everywhere.
Yeah.
All of
a lot of growth.
And I remember last year we had a broker committee meeting for the first time, and we had a couple of builders there. And the builders did say that they're not slowing down at any point in time building houses.
No, they said they're full on.
Yeah, around that. You've seen that too. So I think what we're going to have to do is just do what we do when you do your market update, is just update them on how the market is, where we're going. I'm going to update you guys in a few minutes on the membership numbers, so you guys can kind of know what's going on with those numbers and pay attention to those numbers. But right now, and I think we can agree that interest rates are really high.
Yep.
You're having...
Well, not really high, and that's it.
Sorry.
So, yeah.
Because when I bought my first house, it was 8.9%.
Yeah. So,
they're not.
I have practiced so long, I've seen almost 19% interest rates. And so the tolerance level, I think, was 5%. So when it got over 5%, people got a little nervous. But when you look at the ability to get a house in the position that you're in now, where the prices are stabilizing and people are willing to make concessions, it's a great opportunity.
And one thing, so Lee and I just got back from Inman. If you don't know, Brad Inman holds a conference twice a year, once in New York in January and once in August here in Las Vegas, which we're very fortunate at the Aria. And the biggest topic, I would say, in the 4 days that we were there was lending.
Absolutely.
They had panel after panel about the creative lending that the lending institutions are coming back up with.
Yeah.
About 2-for-1s. Oh, I think this is the most interesting one. So what's happening, is there is investors out there that will buy your home from you.
Correct.
Give you the equity up front. You don't have to make any house payments, but when you go to sell it, you also don't get anything from the sale.
Absolutely.
And they can also tell you when to sell the home. So one panelist was very interesting to me because they are doing that all over the United States right now, and they've already acquired, 150 homes?
Yeah, it was a crazy number because you'd think it would work just the opposite, but it was a opportunity for people to get into homes they didn't expect to get into.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that was kind of helping. But furloughs are coming back. The no interest loans, our only interest loans are coming back. So it's very interesting. And I would talk to your lenders.
Absolutely.
They have a lot of programs out there right now about buying down points and things like that. So I would definitely talk to your lenders.
Yeah, and get that clarity. I mean, you don't want to be a loan officer, but you want to definitely have the knowledge so that if they address it with you when you're not around your loan officer, you're in better shape. So kind of some interesting thing, again, applied analytics. We are so blessed to have applied analytics. Those guys are so smart. In fact, I call them scary smart. And so they've got some really cool stuff that I want to share with you. Economic conditions improve along with recovery in tourism industry. In December 2022, 3.3 million people visited Southern Nevada. Now, I grew up here. I'm a native Las Vegan. I remember back in the day in December when they would actually have layoffs. So that's really good information. There are 52.6 million passengers that came into the Las Vegas market. Southern Nevada and jobs in 2022 added 60,000 jobs. In December, about 15,000. So that was great. Home sales volumes remained down, but they were still in the resale market quite strong. And it said single-family market had a 13.6% decrease. So think about that for just a second. When you're going out on listing appointments, and you remember how I started the podcast off, make sure that you talk about the facts. Show versus sell. Don't sell. Show people what's really going on, and it's a building of trust. And the effective availability held the target range, increased on new listings. So there's more new listings out there, which is always normal in this particular type of market. And then the median sales price held its ground at $425,000, which is good. Because if it went down, everybody would have said the sky's falling, but the sky's not falling. And in fact, in this report here, if you go to several pages back, it shows you when the market starts to change. And guess what month it starts to change? February. So some good news for us on that vein. And other than that, Las Vegas is an amazing place to live. Our statistical data is some of the best in the country. I am blessed to go and travel around the country and teach. And I can tell you, I constantly ask associations for their statistical data, and they look at me like we don't have any of it. And we've got 2 of them that are just done amazingly. Do you have anything else about the stats that you want to talk about?
Yeah, so briefly, I want to go over our membership numbers with you guys. So once a month, Wendy and I come on, and also don't forget towards the end to talk about the weekly pause that you're going to do with chairs, vice chairs.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah.
So currently right now, as of January, we were at 16,304 members. In December of 2022, we were at 16,903. In January of 2022, we were at 16,679. And if I'm not mistaken, you're teaching downstairs right now.
I am. I'm in 2 places at one time.
Exactly. And so in the month of January, we had actually 152 new members join. And right now, down in orientation, we have 170 people taking orientation right now. And last month, we had 82 taking orientation. So from what I understand, I talked to a couple of the career licensing schools, and they are saying that their numbers are down.
Right.
But we are steadily getting members that are coming in and joining, which is good.
Right.
Also, we currently at January, we have 1,647.
You know, I feel like a disc jockey with this mic.
Are you?
Yeah, very cool.
Just wait, because one day we're going to do a podcast in Alvin and Chipmunk.
Oh my God, that would be so much fun. At least we'll start it off with that.
Yeah, we were playing around with it this morning.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. So just a little bit of other stats of things. A lot of members ask, what is the value for their dues? What is the
Absolutely
value for MLS? What is the value for your key? What does the association do for you? And let me give you just a little bit of statistics on what the departments are doing. So the education department last month offered 18 CE classes, 10 Zoom classes, which totaled for the CE was over 600 students, and for the Zoom classes was over 180 students. And then professional standards downstairs, at the end of 2022, they did over 76 cases. And just January alone, we already have 7 cases that they're processing downstairs. Our social media, we've hired a social media guru. Our social media has been going up. So please get on Facebook, Instagram, like it, share it.
Absolutely.
Follow us. We're going to be putting out at least 3 to 4 posts a week now regarding things that are going on at the association, what's happening, committees, when the meetings are, and things like that.
Hold on for just a second. Let's talk about our meetings. Our open meetings, the numbers have been outstanding. I think in one meeting, we had several meetings in January. We had some crazy numbers, like 170 people in the room. I mean, if you want to get cutting edge information, in fact, tomorrow, right? Tomorrow, which will be on the website, we're filming
Tom Ferry,
the Southern Nevada water too, right?
Yeah. So Thursday at 1:00 is YPN, and they're having Mike Ferry come in, and then Thursday morning is political affairs, and they're having the water district.
Absolutely. I mean,
we're taping that, and then also during that meeting, which we can't tape, but during the political affairs committee, if you guys want to know what's going on with legislative,
absolutely.
Rocky Career Nevada, Rocky is going to have one of his staff downstairs giving you an update on where the legislative is, what's happening, what are we fighting for, and that's going to be a monthly thing that's going to happen at the political affairs. But that brings me to the one important document that you guys want to make sure you look for. It comes out on a weekly basis, and it is called Advocate.
Oh, yeah.
And
amazing.
Explain what the Advocate is.
So the Advocate, we're in the middle of legislative session right now. In fact, it's just started this week. And so what happens at the end of every week, they tell you what they worked on for us as members to protect us from changes that we may not be aware of if we weren't available to have an amazing company like Carrera do our statistical data on what's going on at the legislature. So every week, a young lady named Isabel goes ahead and does all those does all that information, and what it does, it just changes how your perception of your money that you give to the association. When you join as a member, you're asked to be an investor in this business, and what we mean by that is both of us are major investors, and
We just made it into the Hall of Fame.
I know, boom, both in the Hall of Fame. So we're going to be on the wall in Washington, D.C. But what's really interesting about being a major investor is that we get some insight on what's really going on nationally and both state and locally. But I want you to understand, if every member of our association gave a $50 donation, the amount of money and prestige and leverage we could have with the legislature would be outstanding. But the advocate allows you to know what's going on. So if your clients say, what's going on with rent control? What's going on with all these other things? You're going to know what's going on with summary evictions. We're going to have the most recent information. So definitely want to sign up for the advocate. So you go to the state of Nevada, you go to the state of Nevada's website. And what I'm talking about, state of Nevada, is NVR. Go to their website. Sign up for the advocate. You get it every week. It's amazing.
It is. A couple other things we want to touch on is committees.
Committees, yep.
We've had been amazing in January.
Yeah.
Like we said, we had one committee that was so overfilled that we actually had it in the quad downstairs,
Yep.
and we set up a TV and everything for them to listen to that. So it's not too late to join a committee.
Absolutely not. In fact, it's never bad
Correct.
to come to a meeting so that you can learn as much as you can.
Exactly. So in every January when you come to a committee meeting, you're automatically on. But don't think you can't join after that. You can join anytime during the year. You just got to go to 3 committee meetings and you're on the committee. And we do have a committee page on our website that tells you when the committee meetings are, what times, what days of the weeks. And we have several committees you could join. And actually, aren't you going to be doing podcasts with all the committee chairs?
Yeah, I will. I'll be giving you updates. So if you can't go to the committee, we're going to do podcasts with those committee chairs to be able to find out, who their public speaker was, what that person talked about, and the impact it had that they feel with the membership. So when you go from 40 people showing up to 80 to 120 to 170, we're doing something right. And don't miss the opportunity to be here and get that information, because it's weird. It goes to that 170 and then it goes out to thousands of people because they're all talking about it. So you definitely want to come down to committees, and we want you here. This is your association. I want you to understand that. As your president, this is your building. This is your association. And we want you to get as much value by coming down and working with our committees to help them understand what you want so that we can get more information to you.
And we know we're going a little bit long because this is our first one, so we're going to cover 2 more things.
2 more things.
So please mark your calendars for March 24th.
Oh, yeah.
Having our first general membership meeting.
Absolutely.
And Applied Analysis is coming in, Brian Gordon, to give you a crystal ball update on the projects going on, the tourism, the employment, what is happening around the valley, what is scheduled to be built. So do not forget that is going to be held at the M this year. It opens at 10:30, and then we have a vendor, and then at 11:15 the doors will open for the lunch. And then Lee's doing something new now after the general membership meeting. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, we're doing, I want us to understand as practitioners diversity, but understand it from a whole bunch of different levels. And so what we have is 4 of our industry partners. And all of them are going to have about a 20-minute presentation with 10 minutes to ask questions. We don't know, I don't know what it feels like to be another race or another culture and have discrimination. And so what I did is I started a diversity committee. And the interesting thing about this diversity committee is it is 4 different groups. And I never put a chair in that, because all 4 of these people, all the 4 of these groups, these presidents, are going to be equal in figuring out what they're going to talk about. So it's going to be amazing. You're going to have a great experience. And the more I find out about different things that happen to different people, the more surprised I am. And the older I get, I'm still so surprised that things happen to people anymore in today's world. So we're going to teach you how to be more inclusive. By the way, keeping that in mind, we're going to have some amazing things coming out about branding. In fact, I'm going to be talking to the brand ambassador. I think that's what I'm going to call her right now. I don't know what term I'm going to use, but we're going to talk with her in the near future to find out what we're going to be doing here at the association to create more branding opportunities for you. I want you to drive by the association one night. I said to myself last night as I left this building, our R in the middle of the building lights up at night with a beautiful blue hue. And I want you to be proud of this building. I want you to be proud of the people that work here, the staff. I want you to be proud of the people that volunteer here. And we want you to be involved. We really would like you to be involved.
And last but not least, we have our annual charity bowling tournament on April 7th at the Sunset Station. Sponsorship packages are available. Teams are available. That is a great event. So please make sure that you get you a team, come support. We do a whole trophy thing, first, last, worst player, that kind of stuff. Also, one more thing about that, we started something last year where we actually have yearly sponsorships now, and those are online too. So if you're interested in doing a yearly sponsorship with us, which includes all of our major events, please go online to the website and all the information there.
Absolutely. One other thing before we leave, you see my career apparel. I've been wearing this a lot when I'm coming to meetings and stuff like that, and I want you to understand something. I just went and got gas this morning, and somebody asked me a real estate question. Priceless. So great opportunity. Excuse me, I got bronchitis. Great opportunity for you to learn more about branding, and we're going to be talking about that a lot. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you, and have a great day.
You bet.